Hi, everybody. Welcome to Spring Break Camp from Michael's. My name is Val, and I will be taking you through 5 fun spring break projects. This is the second one that I've done, but I'm just going to show you everything that we've got for the 5-day week. Now, even if it's not spring break time, you can be doing these projects anytime. So you can pull up our videos anytime you want and get crafting with me. So today we are going to make these fun little critters. They're little yarn wrapped. This is a little iguana, and then we can do a snake. And you can do anything you can think of, honestly. But some of the other projects that you'll be doing this week will be this fun little bird sculpture. He's a little dimensional 3D bird. And then we've got some fun little critters, some little bugs. Some bugs you might find out in the springtime in your yard. Well, they might not look quite like this, but you can be inspired by the bugs in your yard. Then we also have a watercolor that we'll be doing. We're going to be watercoloring a pot and some leaves and building a little plant. And then finally, we're going to be doing some foam stamping. This is a lot of fun. We're gonna make shapes out of the foam, and then we're gonna add some paint to them and stamp them. So those are just a sneak preview of some of the other classes. But let's go ahead and get started with we'll start with our iguana. All right, to do that, you're gonna need some chenille stems, some chenille pipe cleaners, some wiggle eyes, some glue, some yarn, and a scissors. Pretty easy. So I want to show you this because I already made one, but I'll walk you through it. This is what he looks like before he's all wrapped up. Okay. So it's basically, well, we'll just go ahead and get started, but this is what he's going to look like before we wrap him. Okay. So I'm going to start with this brown pipe cleaner. We're going to go ahead and fold one in half and then just pinch the ends so that it's like that. Okay. And we're going to take another one. And we need to make his head part. So his head's a little fatter. So we're going to start a little ways down, maybe half of your thumb length down. And we're just going to wrap all the way around and up to the end and back down and back up. Just keep wrapping up and down until you've used up the entire chenille pipe cleaner, and then just sort of pinch the ends. Okay, so see, that's what he's going to look like now. He's got a little head up here that's a little fatter. It looks like this guy. Okay. All right. Now we need to make his little arms and legs. So we're going to take another chenille pipe cleaner and fold it in half, and then we're going to cut it. Be careful because that's a wire in there. Okay. So now about, a third of the way down. So if you were to divide this guy into thirds, 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, that makes a whole. So about a third of the way down, we're going to do his front legs. So just you know what, I'm going to use a different color so you can see it better. Doesn't matter what color you use. I just want you to be able to see what I'm doing a little better. Okay, so I'm going to lay his legs, which is the blue one, on top of his body, which is the brown one, and I'm just going to wrap it around one time. Okay, so now he looks like that. We're going to do the same thing towards the back end, about a third of the way in from the end of the body. Just wrap it around one time, just like that. Okay. All right. We can always make them shorter if we want to later, but we're going to keep them like this because we're gonna eventually bend them so he can see how I bent his legs a little bit like that. Okay. So now we need to make his little claws. So what we're going to do is we're going to take I'm going to use the brown again just so you can see, and we're just going to cut a little piece off. It's about an inch, a couple centimeters if you use centimeters, or an inch, just again about the length of my thumb. And I'm going to take the end of his little legs, put my little piece of chenille stem there, and I'm just going to twist it around one time. Okay. Just like that. We're going to do that 3 more times. So another piece. Take the end of his leg and just wrap it around 1 time. One more. Okay, so now we have our structure ready to be wrapped. We can bend them into whatever shape we want later. And we're going to take our yarn. I'm going to put this on the floor so I can just start wrapping with my big long length of yarn. We're going to start, I'm going to start at his head. And the way I want you to start is to take your yarn and hold it this way. Okay, so it's going up his head, perpendicular to his head. So it's the same direction. Okay, and then we're going to start to wrap. And that way we have a way to keep the yarn secured as we're going up and down. Okay, so now it's just wrapping. And if you want his head a little thicker, you can just keep wrapping around his head many times as you want. And this yarn is kind of fun because it goes from purple to blue to pink and back again. So it's real colorful, but you can use any yarn, solid colors. If you want it thicker, just wrap more times around it. See, I just wrapped a few more times around there. And then when we get to his arms, I'm going to make an X. So I'm going to go under his arm and over the other side and under and over. And then we'll just wrap down his arm. And you can wrap back over what you wrapped. I personally didn't want the blue of the chenille stem to show, so I'm just making sure I've got it good and covered. So I'm going to go down and back up. See how I went down, and now I'm going to go back up. Go down, and let's get his little claws, go around his little claws, just sort of weave in and out, whatever works to keep the yarn secured in there. See how I've done that? I've just kind of going in and out. So I'm going to wrap around that a few times. I'm going to wrap around his middle one, then his end one. Then I'm going to wrap back up his leg because I got to get my yarn over to the other side. Back up his leg. Uh-oh, my yarn's coming out up here. I'll show you what to do for that if that's happening to you too. So now we're going to go back. Now we're going to just cross over the body to his other arm and do the same thing on his other arm. Down and up. You can see I'm going down and up. I'm going to do his little claws again. It's a little tricky. I'm just going to wrap around one claw a couple times. Go around his middle one a few times, and then around his third one a couple times. And then I'm going to wrap back up. I'm going to wrap back up so we can get back to the middle. It gets a little awkward trying to hold him sometimes, so just take your time. Now we're going to go back to his body. I'm just going to keep wrapping around his body. Whoops, keep his arms out of the way. I'll pull his arms up so they're not in our way. Go back up. I want his body to be fatter. So I'm just going up and down again. Wrap down, wrap back up, back down. Okay, ready for these legs. We're gonna do the same thing again. Wrap down one of his legs, wrap back up. Now, you've noticed we haven't cut our yarn yet. We're not going to until we're done. It's just one continuous piece of yarn. That way you don't have to worry about your ends coming loose. They're all one big long piece. I'm gonna go back down again. Get to his little claws and go around his claws. A couple times around the claws. Okay. Whoops. Back up. Oh, there we go. Okay, back up his leg. And keep all the other pieces out of my wrapping. I'm gonna go across his body again. And down his, whoops, down his other leg. And back up. Make sure you guys can see what I'm doing, okay? I'm just going up and down, just like we did on the other legs. Round and round, keep wrapping. Okay, we're down to his little claws again. I admit the claws are definitely the hardest, but just kind of weave your way in and out. In fact, you don't even have to wrap them if you don't want. They can stay the color of your chenille stem. We're almost done with this guy. Okay, now we just have his tail. And you're just gonna wrap around his tail, go all the way down and all the way back up, however many times you want. The more times you go around, the thicker it will be. Move these guys out of the way. Round and round. Okay. There we go. So we have to figure this out. We're gonna have to, we might have to add a little touch of glue, but we'll get it back on there. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to cut off my excess yarn here. Now, I don't have a needle handy, but if I had a plastic needle, I could thread the yarn through it and then just slide it up under his belly. But what we're going to do instead is we're going to kind of tie it. So I just looped it around, pull my yarn through. Maybe you do that, maybe one more time. We can tuck it under, tuck it in if you can, tuck it under, and then pull it. And then when we're done, we can put a little dot of glue on it. Okay, cut the excess. Okay, so there's our iguana. Whew, that was a lot of work. Okay, so now I'm going to take his little legs and bend them. Because of the chenille stem, you can bend them in any shape you want. So there's my little guy. Now, what I did on this one This was the first one I showed you guys before we got started. I put a little piece of chenille stem in there for a tongue. And then we glued some eyes on there. So I'm going to take a little piece of this green, and I don't need this anymore. And it's just literally a little piece like that long. Okay. See, I just cut it about that long. And you're just going to put a little glue on the end. And just stick it in there. Just like that. And then we've got to need a couple of eyes. I think I'll use this size. I'm going to glue those on, put a little dot on each side of his head. One there. Oops, and one there. Right. There's his eyes and his little tongue. And if you want to, if you're losing your yarn somehow, you can go ahead and just add a little glue. And then when it dries, it will help keep the yarn secured where it needs to be. But there's our little iguana. Now I have two iguanas. Now I'm going to show you how to make a snake really fast because this is really super easy. Maybe we should have started with the easy one, but we're going to go ahead and just make a snake real quick. You're going to just need 2 chenille stems, one for the body and one for the head. And again, I made this head a little thicker. So just wrap it around the end of your chenille stem. Just twist it on there, get it secured real good. Twist it down. Oh, I don't know, about an inch or so. Doesn't matter. However big you want your head to be. Just keep wrapping it up and down. And you'll see how it gets thicker. Okay, see? See how I did that? Actually, because I'm just going to use that as his little tongue right there that's sticking out on my end, just like that. But you can add another tongue just like we did on the iguana. And now we're just going to take our yarn again. And we'll start it the same way. We're just going to hold it down like that and then just get it started wrapping around his face. Okay, and just go up and down on his head. And if you're having trouble, you can always add a little glue. No harm in doing that. It'll help it stay if it keeps sliding off. Okay. All right. Now, there's his head. I like that. Now we're just going to go down his body, up and down his body. I think we'll go down. Oh, it's a little harder because it's long. And go down like that. And then I'm going to come back up. It's just, you're basically going back and forth. Wrap all the way to the end and then all the way back up. He is too long. He's getting in my way. Okay. Up and down. And you can make him, you can go back and forth as many up and down as many times as you want. You can let some of the chenille stem color show through if you want, or you can cover them all up. Go back down. You can also, oh, there's a way you can do it. You can just twist your chenille stem. Oops, don't get them tangled. You can just twist. See how I'm doing it? I'm twisting the chenille stem and I'm guiding the yarn around the chenille stem. So that's just a little bit different technique. Maybe that's easier for you. It's a little easier for me because his long length was getting in my way as I was going down. Just keep going back and forth, up and down. And you could do this for any kind of critter that you can think of, that you just have to build the structure of the critter out of your chenille stems. And then you just yarn wrap them. Whoops. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. I hit my camera. But you can just, once you build the structure, if you're older or you're a little more advanced at this, or if you have experience making animals out of chenille stems, this is a fun way to take it to another level. It's just wrap it in yarn. You can use yarn, you can use string, boarding. Okay. I'm going to go down one more time and we're going to be done with him. I'm just going to twist him, go down with my yarn. See how that's going? We're just rolling him. Twist. Okay, now I'm going to cut that. Give myself a little excess to tie it off. And then I'm going to thread it through a loop that's on there, that's already been on there from our twisting. Kind of tuck it through. Come on. There we go. Tie it off however you want. And then if you want to add a little dot of glue on the knot, just so it doesn't come unraveling later, cut it off. See, my yarn at the top is wanting to come off. I'm just gonna push it back down. I'm just pushing it back down over the head. And again, I might just go ahead and add a little bit of glue so it just stays just like that. Okay. So now we have our little snake, and we can add some eyes to him. Just a little dab of glue on his head, on either side of his head. One eye there, and one eye there. And then just let the glue dry before you go play with them. I think these are fun. There you go. There's our snake. 2 snakes. And now we have 2 iguanas. All right. I hope you guys had fun with that. Make some more critters and show me what you've done. You can put them up on michaels.com and do hashtag Michael's Kids Club. And I can see what you guys have done. So, oh, and here's my dog. I hope you guys have fun and you'll join me for another class. I'll see you next time. Bye.